Hey there, we're back in Assetto Corsa again. I wanted to give the Shutoko One Lap another go. Of course, this is an add-on to the Shutoko Revival project that we drove the other night with no traffic on it. So two updates. One is that the author fixed the problem that I identified the fix for, or the workaround in my last video. So it's now the download contains two directories, one with the corrected INI file and one for the other alternate file that is essentially a beta folder. So all good, fixed. You can download a new version now, and it contains the fix, so you don't have to manually edit that file unless you just want to. Second thing is that I did get two real traffic running. All I had to do was grab the traffic and surfaces file and drop them into the one lap folder, and Bob's your uncle. We're in good shape. So we're going to drive this with traffic, which is probably going to slow me down considerably, but it'll be more interesting. I am not a no Hesi guy by any stretch. That's just not my jam typically. But thought it would be kind of fun to have a score. So in the upper left-hand corner, you will see the two real traffic has a scoring system. And it's those sort of dumbass moves that you have to look out for, because it doesn't matter if you're coming or not. If they cut across you, hit you, it resets the score. So that's not good. So at major junctions, you have to slow down a little bit just to be on the lookout for that kind of craziness. And the traffic does kind of randomly stop, which is not unlike real traffic, so I'm not going to complain too much about that, because, you know, in real life, people can sometimes be dumb when they're driving. I could be cutting and trying to make my way, but doing so makes me a little nervous, because that's usually how I wind up wrecking. This is a lot more entertaining, though, than driving the empty roads. So at least there's something else to look at. It's kind of fun. Damn it. That wasn't going to get me any better. And it's usually at the junctions where you get the lane closest to the cutoff. People drive a little stupid. They'll stop and then they'll adjust their heading and cut you off. Just no fun. So, spent a little bit of time. I've been... it's weird, like any game, I guess, and it's kind of the way it's supposed to work is, you know, you start playing it a little bit, and you get hooked on the idea of it, and you keep coming back to try out new things in it. And so I have been infected by BeamNG Drive a little bit. Saw a great video today that was a guy talking about some of the settings that, you know, you should adjust. And nothing earth-shattering or anything, but it was just kind of interesting. Oh, come on. See, again, this is a junction. I don't know why they stop like that. Anyway, played around with settings just to kind of see what some of the settings were and some of the things that I hadn't done. I adjusted my FOV a little bit and tinkered with some other things to just sort of see if I could make it a little bit more enjoyable experience. I also took a look at the new rally driving. This is a highly experimental work in progress part of the latest release of BeamNG Drive. And very well done. Very, very cool in terms of the drive experience. I am ridiculously slow. So like a lot of these types of things, it's kind of the Gran Turismo sort of style of competition where you have bronze, silver, and gold. You're trying to get a time to get those various demarcations. And I woefully am like 20 seconds off the bronze for the first supposedly easy route. So some of that I'm going to blame on the fact that I am still wearing a splint on one of my fingers on my left hand, so I'm not driving as nimbly as I might otherwise. I'm repedaling it. I'm driving it with realistic transmission and ABS settings and all that kind of stuff. So being at a physical deficit and trying to drive a stick shift, a 5-speed manual stick shift car with a clutch on a rally course, being 20 seconds off the mark isn't like the most horrible thing I've ever described myself as having as a limitation. I'll get better, but I kind of suck at it right now, so I didn't want to make a video of that. I'd like to at least be able to get to bronze before I do a video of it, at least on the first one, because it's supposed to be an easy one. It is tremendous fun, though, so I may throw in the towel and just drive it, because it is a lot of fun. Wow. I absolutely love this drive. It's so much fun. Looked like he was coming into my lane there for a second. Anyway, so I'm enjoying BeamNG Drive and kind of trying out some new things. I had another crash today in BeamNG, which kind of sucked. I had done the drive, and before it could give me my time, it crashed. I assume I didn't do all that well, but I'll never know. I might have actually gotten my bronze. Regardless. Having a lot of fun with that. And there are a lot of really interesting scenarios that are worth driving. Also started looking at adaptive AI in iRacing. Probably do a video with that here in the not too distant future. I want to do a race this week. There are a lot of actually good races in official series on iRacing this week. Several series are at Road Atlanta. The Radicals are at Mugello. Mugello is an awesome course. Course has been around for a good long while, and it hasn't changed hardly at all. I mean, curbing has gotten better, but track really hasn't changed all that much. I think I drove in one of the videos recently. I did a Mugello, like a historic version of that track from the 60s, I guess, or 70s. And that was a lot of fun. And I just drove the modern track, kind of practicing with the Radical earlier tonight. And it's the same track. It just, you got different curbing and runoffs and such that are a little bit safer. But overall, it's the same general track, which is, you know, awesome. And the Radical is a trip around that track. A lot of fun. Just drove through that car. Weird. The car de-rezzed. Doesn't look good. Boxed in. Problem with getting to a stopping point is that the traffic behind you will hit you, and that'll scrub your score. It's never a good thing. You get people that'll just randomly throw their brakes on, which is awesome. I do not have the police in reactionary mode. There's a toggle setting where you can actually turn it on to where the police will chase you if you're speeding or driving recklessly. Which, no. I just got rear-ended. Wiped my score out. I got rear-ended again. Okay, two real guys. Why is your AI hitting me? That's unacceptable. Got hit again. I just came into my lane randomly. Got rear-ended again. That's really upsetting. I don't get so upset if I wreck. But if I just get randomly rear-ended when I didn't like suddenly stop or anything, I just had to stop for the traffic in front of me. Actually, I had a Lexus ISF that got rear-ended in traffic. Guy was changing a station on his radio or something. Wasn't paying attention, looked up, and traffic had stopped. I'm definitely not going to beat my time on an empty circuit. I can already tell that. That's okay. I think I need to turn their lights on. Wonder why they're not on already. Maybe because I don't have them checked anywhere. Well, deal with that later. V-dub got a little cheeky there. Speeding up on me. That's pretty fantastic. Definitely broke some stuff in that encounter with the wall. Overestimated how well I could stick that turn. It'll buff out. Almost made it all the way around without a crash. Well, without a being hit. The other incidents weren't my fault. That one was definitely my fault. These little VW drivers are somebody's comic statement. Because, A, VWs can't accelerate that fast. They can't. So that started us over. We're back on another lap. So, all things being equal, not horrible. If I hadn't been hit, that would have been a lot more fun. But alas, it is what it is. Anyway, two-wheel traffic. Kind of fun to have it set up. It's a little frustrating too, but it adds some adventure and some challenge to the drive. And certainly fun. I wish that it didn't like misbehave quite as badly as it does. Like hitting you is unacceptable. That's very uncool. But Tokyo Tower, that's my favorite spot when we pass here because I've actually stood directly underneath that tower. My hotel was near the tower, and so I walked up as close as I could, took a picture, a selfie with me in the tower behind me. It was kind of cool. It's cool to me. Probably not cool to anybody else. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope this has been entertaining. I know that 2 videos on the same general subject are probably pretty lame, but I love the Shutoko Revival project, and so the opportunity to drive it is always just a lot of fun. And looking at two-wheel traffic and seeing what it has to offer in terms of good behavior, or bad behavior, as the case might be. Nice to have a look. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Spaß mache Rennsport.